You have the wrong demographic of clientele.
We'll go ahead and get the meeting started tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here this evening on May 26th, 2026, here for our regular City Commission meeting. We'll go ahead and start with a roll call, please.
Benson. Here. Birch.
Here.
Brunick.
Here.
Sarda. Here. Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Here.
Mosier. Here. Spencer.
Here.
Mayor Villanueva.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Okay, he's not here. And I'm not sure if we're expecting legal counsel tonight, but I guess
I'm not sure either. I texted him if Lindsay or Bo were going to join us, but I have not heard back
Okay.
yet, so I'll let you know.
Sounds good, thank you. Okay, next under routine business, we have the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve this agenda?
Move to approve the agenda. Second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the agenda that it's before us. Any discussion about that? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, the agenda is approved. Next before you are the minutes of the regular meeting of May 11th, 2026. I need, looking for a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 11th, 2026. Any discussion on that? Seeing no mics come on. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Those minutes are approved. Next, we have the schedule of bills under routine business. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Move to pay the bills. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier. Aye. Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, the bills will be paid. Motion passes. Next, we have the city manager's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the commission, and good evening to the public. Our mission is working together to provide exemplary experiences, services, and spaces that create opportunities for everyone to learn, engage, and thrive. Just a couple things for you this evening. I wanted to remind everyone that we do have passes for sale for the Huther Family Aquatic Center. The Aquatic Center is opening on Friday, so we have pool passes for sale tomorrow from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Huther Family Aquatic Center, as well as on Thursday from 9 to 1 p.m. So you can head out there. You can also purchase pool passes at the Summit Activity Center, and you can certainly purchase your pool pass when you get to the Huther Aquatic Center on Friday as well. But if you want to just beep in right away and be one of the first ones to jump in, certainly will feel good with the weather we're having. You can buy them ahead of time. Want to thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to attend the Great Open Spaces City Managers Conference last week in Deadwood. Some really good things pertaining to use of social media for local governments, as well as recruitment and retention strategies for local government employees. I'll be sharing with our department heads as well as with you as we go forward. So good stuff there, and nice to have the opportunity for that training. Wanted to thank the vets and the Boy Scouts and the Parks Department for all their work as they put together the beautiful flags that we get to enjoy in Memorial Park for our holidays. It certainly is meaningful when we drive by and see that. Also, if folks haven't noticed, when they come in on 4th Street, the banners that the Rotary Club worked on of our veterans, for those people that bought those, really nice way to honor those folks. Thank you to Les and the Parks crew, Les Kirchner and the Parks crews who placed them. They were initially to be somewhere else, but thought they'd have a better placement, and I didn't know that they could get them up in time for Memorial Day, and they worked their little hearts out to get them up there. So I thought that was really nice, and it was really pleasant to come back to town and see those up. So I just wanted to publicly thank the Parks Department for that. We are missing a party right now, Commissioners. The party in the park is happening right now. The Parks Department is partnering with the library. They're kicking off summer reading. There's snakes involved, there's inflatables, there's dinosaurs, there's foam cannons. I'd much rather be here with you. That's true. That's true. I mean it. But yes, I hope everyone's having a great time, especially the kids. Happy to stand for questions, Mayor, if you or the commission have them.
Commission, do you have any questions for the city manager? Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I just have one, Amy, and if you sent something on, I might have missed it. I had somebody ask me today if the pool is opening later this year than it typically would, or is the pool opening right when we usually do every summer? I didn't know that for sure.
We're opening, last year we did not open Memorial Day weekend. We changed that. Initially, we opened Memorial Day weekend when we first opened the Aquatic Center. Memorial Day weekend, as everyone can appreciate, is kind of iffy with weather. And so we've changed now to open the weekend after the Friday after. So yes, it shortens the season a bit. However, a lot of times that weather was questionable, and we ended up not being able to open with a full schedule anyway, so it's a little bit later. So you have to wait a little bit longer to do your water walking, but hopefully people will be able to get a lot of swim time in the summer as well. Also, have to watch the calendar as well. We do lose a lot of our summer employees because they go back to college, go back to school, and the school, start of school date changes, of course, and I don't know exactly right now what that is, but we'll make sure we get information out there on the end of the season as well, so everyone's aware of that.
If the public wants to cool off, though, I believe the splash pads are open, are they not?
I believe they are. We also have a splash pad down at the Meridian Bridge, so people can cool off there as well. So lots of opportunities to beat the heat.
Good question. Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, and this will probably be something the city manager will want to defer to Adam, but I'm wondering if there's an end in sight or an estimated completion date for the Broadway traffic signals project.
I'm wondering that too, because if you want to go to Culver's for lunch, you better plan an hour and a half. So yes, Adam, please let us all know.
So the 8th Street, 15th Street, and 21st Street intersections are pretty much complete. The 23rd Street, the poles and arms were put in place today, or serviced today. So those are up and running. They'll have some concrete work left at that intersection. And then the 4th Street signal arms and poles are yet to be replaced, and that'll be a pretty major undertaking at that intersection. I think they have the median concrete work is, for the most part, complete at 4th Street. They have the sidewalks and everything to do, ADA stuff. And so it'll be well into June before the project is done. But hopefully the north end of the project is wrapped up before then, so.
Good question. Adam, before you move away, thanks for, I know that's going to take some coordination with the state, so thank you for helping coordinate all that. I do have a question. I did notice today, will there be street signs actually on the posts because the streets are not marked?
Yes, there'll be street names on the signal arms.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, just checking.
Yep,
Okay.
the larger size street name signs.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions for the city manager? I know, Commissioner, did you have a shout out?
I actually had a couple, but Amy kind of stole my thunder in one of them.
Sorry.
No, it was a beautiful day yesterday, and I got to the corner of 21st and Broadway, and you couldn't miss it. The flags were just beautiful. Congratulations and thank you to the people that do that volunteer, and the park looked awesome too. The other one was we approved 2 facade grants a while back, and it looks like the one at 3rd and Broadway is completed. If you haven't driven by it, it looks pretty impressive. It looks good. It blends in well with the rest of the block. And so, money well spent.
Agreed. I also wanted to say a couple of things here. Any other commissioners have anything, or other shout outs? I don't want to miss you. Okay. I also want to reiterate a huge thank you to all the veterans that have served our country. Thank you to all those that are continuing to serve right now. And this country would not be what we are without people that have made major or the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms and give us what we enjoy today. So I just want to make sure I say thank you to them. Also, again, the flags in the park were beautiful. And again, the flags on 4th Street too. Thank you to Todd and everybody that has done that. They look amazing. I have to give a huge shout out to Marlene Johnson. She did such a fantastic job of spearheading that project for Rotary. One of the things too is I think it's so important as I was driving west on 4th Street, just seeing, it is so neat to see pictures, the faces of our veterans that have served and are now gone. I just think it's a really beautiful thing, and just want to say thank you to staff for helping with that, facilitating that, and also Miss Marlene Johnson. Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move on. Anything else, commissioners? Okay, we'll go ahead and then move up to our public appearance. So this is the time for anyone from the public that would like to make a public appearance. You have approximately 3 minutes to come up and speak. This will be anything that is not on the agenda this evening. Okay, I'm seeing no movement. Then we'll now move into scheduled appearance. So the first thing we have for scheduled presentations right now would be our proclamation, which is exciting. We have a proclamation for the Mental Wellness Conference at www.yamwe.org. So I'm excited to read that. Okay, the proclamation for the City of Yankton. Whereas Yankton Area Mental Wellness, Inc. will host the 28th Annual Yankton Area Mental Wellness Conference at Yankton High School on June 3rd and 4th of this year. And whereas the overall mission is caring for self and caring for community, and the 2026 conference theme is honoring growth, advancing mental health for all. And whereas the commitment to training and networking is evident in Yankton, a community that is extremely concerned about serving those in need, strives to educate students for future employment in healthcare and mental health, and represents a region rich in resources and professional expertise to educate others. And whereas Yankton Area Mental Wellness, Inc. and professionals from Yankton, from South Dakota, from the Midwest, and beyond, have joined forces to present a variety of sessions to educate conference participants with current information, available resources, a network of support, regional expertise, and professional credit. Now therefore, I, Michael Villanueva, Mayor of Yankton, do hereby proclaim June 3rd and 4th, 2026 as Yankton Area Mental Wellness Conference Days in Yankton, South Dakota, and call upon the residents of this great city to join me in supporting mental wellness awareness. Great job. And I'm assuming I might have someone that would like to come up and speak. Thank you, Bill.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madeline Miller. I am the Crisis Program Director for Lewis and Clark Behavioral Health and happy to serve on the Yankton Area Mental Wellness Board this year. Just want to thank the mayor and the commissioners so much for acknowledgement of the proclamation and to thank the community for their continued engagement these 28 years that we've operated the conference. For those of you that are interested or have free time, June 3rd and 4th next week, we really are focusing on a variety of topics, offering mental wellness for all. We have a lot of speakers coming in, focusing on trauma therapy, grief, holistic approaches, youth mental health, and a variety of other things. So if you're interested, yamwe.org is the registration website, and we'd love to see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And anybody who has not been to that conference, please do seriously consider attending. It is a fantastic conference. I had the honor of actually presenting last year at the conference. It was a great time, and as one of the things that's really important too about that I'd like to just touch on real quick, I think it's so important, and thank you for what you do, and thank you for holding this conference. One of the things that is near and dear to my heart is first responder mental health and wellness. I think it's so important. We're going to be talking about some of that later tonight when it comes to the dispatchers. But being able to make sure that we have our everyone, but also our first responders to mentally healthy is important. In fact, at State Fire School this year, I'll be attending a moral and spiritual injury implications for first responders class. So really looking forward to that, and looking forward to your presentation, your conference here in Yankton. So let's go ahead and take a picture real quick if you have the time. And before you all step out, we just had a commissioner ask me, when is the latest you can actually register for that conference? Do we know? That morning. That morning. So you can, okay, perfect. There you go. Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, next, a scheduled presentation. We have Mr. Jesse Bailey from United Way.
Well, good evening, commissioners and city leadership and the public. Thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on the work of United Way and Volunteer Services of Greater Yankton during this past year. As we enter our 70th year serving this community, I continue to be inspired by the generosity, resilience, and collaboration that defines Yankton. United is the way that we strengthen families, create opportunity, and build resilient communities capable of meeting today's challenges while preparing for tomorrow's needs. What you have before you there is our annual report from last year, and if anybody from the public wants to see that, that's available on our website. So our work is guided through four core impact pillars: youth opportunity, financial stability, healthy communities, and community resiliency. Those pillars are especially important as more working families in our area continue to fall into the ALICE population, which stands for asset limited, income constrained, and employed. These are households who are working, often multiple jobs, yet still struggling to afford housing, childcare, transportation, food, and healthcare. Many of the people using our local nonprofit services today are employed members of our workforce who simply can't keep up with rising costs. When I spoke to the commission, or when I last spoke to the commission in November, I shared that United Way was preparing for a difficult but necessary transition. At that time, we announced a 2026 community impact goal of $622,000, which was a realistic and responsible target. It was intended to protect partner agencies while preserving our organizational long-term operational health. To adapt to changing giving trends and the loss of major federal funding tied to volunteer coordination, we planned to reduce allocations to our partner agencies by 33%, pause our Connecting Kids Youth Scholarship program for 2026, seek dedicated sponsorships for our internal programs, and then implement an 80-20 model for any funds that we raised above our goal. And that means that 80% would go to return directly to partner agencies, and then we would keep 20% to rebuild our organizational reserves. So those weren't easy decisions, but they reflected the reality that communities across the nation are facing, as we discussed, increasing demand for services, rising costs, and evolving charitable giving patterns. And I'm proud to say that our community responded. Because of the generosity of this community, our campaign ultimately reached $705,000. That response allowed us to recently announce additional funds to our existing partner agencies for the remainder of this year. That was an incredible example of what happens when a community rallies together around shared responsibility and hope. So those dollars are now supporting 52 programs across 15 organizations, including Boys and Girls Club of Yankton, Cornerstone's Career Learning Center, Connections, Habitat for Humanity of Clay and Yankton counties, Lutheran Social Services Center for Financial Resources, Pathways Shelter for the Homeless, South Dakota Voices for Peace, Southeast CASA, Southeast Public Transit, the Center, Waypost and Waypost Family Connections, Yankton County Drug Court, Yankton Food for Thought, Yankton Contact Center, and of course United Way's own internal programs and initiatives. That's a long list, but they all deserve to be mentioned because they do amazing things. While the Connecting Kids Youth Scholarships were paused for this year so we could prioritize the most urgent community needs, we continue pursuing dedicated sponsorships and plan to bring them back with a new look in 2027. We also continued investing in arts and culture through the art education grants, which were awarded to Yankton Area Arts and the Yankton County Historical Society. Together with the 15 programs operated directly with United Way, these partnerships are driving measurable impact in our community. In the past year alone, just under 70,000 rides were provided to work, school, and medical appointments. Over 7,500 individuals gained access to food security. 968 households were stabilized through critical services. Over 16,000 books were distributed to local youth at no cost to the families. And over 3,000 individuals completed health and wellness programs. So those numbers represent real people, families staying housed, children receiving opportunities, seniors remaining connected to care, and individuals finding stability during difficult times. And perhaps most importantly, these outcomes are increasingly being achieved through collaboration. Over my 16 years working within Yankton's nonprofit sector, I've seen our community move away from organizations operating in silos and toward genuine partnership. Agencies are sharing ideas, resources, volunteers, and problem-solving efforts in ways that we just simply didn't see years ago. And while there's still room to grow, I'm proud of the culture of collaboration taking shape here in Yankton. That collaborative spirit is essential to building resilient communities, capable of responding compassionately and effectively when challenges arise. So at the same time, we recognize that strong communities require both reactive and proactive solutions. Reactive services remain critical. Emergency shelter, food security, crisis response, transportation, and stabilization services save lives every day. Alongside those services, we have to continue investing in proactive solutions that reduce long-term hardship before crisis occurs. That means creating pathways towards stability, supporting mental wellness, strengthening family systems, increasing access to education and financial literacy, and building a culture that prioritizes prevention, resilience, and opportunity. Many of our partner agencies are already doing both, as long-term community change requires when both of these approaches work, with them both working side by side. And as always, volunteers remain at the heart of this work. In 2025, over 2,100 volunteers contributed just under 36,000 hours of service to United Way and our partner agencies. That's the equivalent of just over 17 full-time employees working year-round. So using the current estimated national value of a volunteer hour, which is $36.14, those volunteers generated nearly $1.3 million in community impact through their donated time. Volunteers are the people delivering meals to seniors, mentoring youth, assisting families in crisis, serving on boards, sorting donations, coaching teams, and filling critical gaps that nonprofit professionals simply can't meet alone due to limited staffing and resources. So our nonprofit partners operate leanly. Volunteers are what allow those organizations to remain strong, responsive, and accessible. And on that note, I'm excited to share that Volunteer Yankton is entering a modern era. As many of you recall, due to funding limitations, we eliminated our volunteer coordinator position at the end of last year. Since then, our remaining 3 staff have absorbed those responsibilities while also exploring ways to modernize and streamline volunteer engagement. So I'm thrilled to say that we secured a local sponsorship to support to launch Get Connected, which is a digital volunteer engagement platform, which will modernize how volunteers connect with opportunities throughout the greater Yankton area. This platform will allow individuals, businesses, families, and service organizations to more easily discover opportunities, track involvement, and connect directly with nonprofits in need of help. We'll be releasing an official press release and a rollout announcement soon, but we're incredibly excited about the future of volunteer engagement in Yankton. So as we begin preparing for our next campaign, we know that there's still significant work ahead. Our challenge moving forward is not only sustaining the current level of funding, it's growing beyond it to meet increasing community demand. ALICE households continue to rise with housing pressures, mental health needs, childcare affordability, and food insecurity all continuing. The reality is that many working families are one emergency away from crisis. And that means the work of building healthy and resilient communities is more important now than ever. Our 70th anniversary serves as a reminder that our community has always been strongest when we come together. Because united is the way we respond to challenges, create opportunity, and ensure every person in our community has the chance to thrive. So commissioners, thank you for your continued partnership and support of the nonprofit sector in Yankton. The work being done across this community every day is only possible because people continue choosing to invest in one another. We remain committed to transparency, stewardship, collaboration, and impact as we continue building a stronger, healthier, and more resilient Yankton together. So thank you.
Jesse?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
I mean, your group is involved in everything, and you're helping lots of people. So I'm going to throw this out there just off the wall. Is there anything you can think of that the city could do? I mean, funds, of course, but
Sure.
anything else you think of that the city could do to help with your goals?
I think when we talk about efficiency and simplifying solutions, the city did that when they chose to invest a portion of funding for your outside agency funds to United Way years ago. I can't remember exactly when that was at the top of my head. Also increasing that to $45,000. When you hear what our annual campaign is, that's $700,000. That's a substantial part of that. So additionally, I know that city government's limited in what you can do, and I'd be happy to take that back to my team and think of new ideas. These Connecting Kids Youth Scholarships are, again, not a crucial service, but all youth deserve the opportunity to participate in after-school activities, extracurriculars. And while, when it comes to the choice of participating in baseball or Girls on the Run, maybe not as important as putting food on the table, we're struggling to find a sponsorship for that. That's about $16,000 a year. So not that the city has to come up with that, but maybe we can put our brains together and think of a way that we can fund that moving forward and not have it come out of our general community impact fund. So just one thought at the top of my head, and I appreciate that question.
Well, any other questions for Jesse? Jesse, thank you for your presentation. Really appreciate that. And thank you for all you do, all that your staff does. And Commissioner Conkling, I think one of the things that everybody can do is give of yourself, either your time, your talent, or your treasure. Pick a nonprofit or an entity here in town that speaks to your heart, and dig in and roll up your sleeves and get to work.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, next we have a presentation, another scheduled presentation from Brittany Wagner of Yankton Thrive.
Good evening. You should all have a presentation in front of you, and we'll have it up on the screen here as well. Thank you, Dwayne, for getting that up for us. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight on the importance of tourism in Yankton and why continued investment in destination marketing matters to the economic future of our community. Tourism is often viewed as simply bringing visitors to town for a weekend trip or event, but in reality, tourism is one of the few industries where outside dollars are brought directly into our local economy. Visitors, they stay in our hotels and our campgrounds, they eat at our restaurants, shop at our stores, they fuel at our gas stations, attend our events, they continue to support locally. Those dollars circulate throughout Yankton and help support jobs, business, and tax revenue that benefit our entire community. According to Travel South Dakota, visitors spent more than $100 million in Yankton County in 2025. Tourism supported over 1,400 jobs locally and generated over $7 million in state and local tax revenue. Without tourism-related tax revenue, each Yankton County household would pay an estimated $1,121 more in annual taxes. Those numbers are significant. And while tourism certainly creates economic opportunity, it's important to remember that tourism success does not happen by accident. Communities that attract visitors consistently are the communities that invest in visibility, partnerships, and marketing. That is the role of the tourism office in Yankton. At Visit Yankton and Yankton Thrive, our work goes far beyond social media posts and visitor guides. Much of the work that drives tourism success actually happens behind the scenes. It's the relationship building, the event support, it's assisting attractions and businesses, answering those visitor inquiries, coordinating partnerships, hosting hospitality trainings, supporting tournaments and conferences. We're recruiting, we're creating digital content, we're updating promotional materials, and ensuring that Yankton is consistently represented regionally and nationally in conversations. Our office works year-round to position Yankton as a destination and to support the businesses, attractions, and events that drive visitation and economic activity. Our largest and most impactful efforts that we participate in is a co-op campaign through Travel South Dakota. This co-op campaign is offered twice annually, once during the summer peak season, and then again in the shoulder or the fall and winter months. These campaigns are highly strategic, data-driven, but each campaign starts with a minimum of $40,000 investment. Through Travel South Dakota's matching partnership model, however, our local dollars are doubled, and we are significantly investing in communities and able to reach audiences that we would not otherwise be able to reach independently. Quite simply, it allows communities like Yankton to compete at a level that we would never be able to accomplish alone. It significantly expands our visibility and ensures that Yankton remains present in front of travelers when they are actively deciding where to spend their time and their money. I brought along some examples. Dwayne, if you would flip a couple more slides, there are some examples of the high level of professionalism that we are in digital media, print campaigns, and I think that the next slide is actually a short video that I'd like to show. This is our peak season campaign. Dwayne, if you go back one more slide, is there a play button? Oh, one more forward, sorry. And I can send this out separately if we want the next slide. There we go.
Dear schedule, you're moving too fast. I prefer to take things slowly, go with the flow, and savor each moment. I want lazy afternoons, carefree fun, and warm memories. Move over, schedule. I'm choosing Yankton. There's so much South Dakota, so little time. Start your trip at visityanktonsd.com.
Thank you, Dwayne. There's no denying that Yankton truly has unique assets that are worth promoting, from the Lewis and Clark Rec area to the Missouri National Recreational River and our growing water trail initiatives. Outdoor recreation continues to be one of our strongest tourism drivers. We are also home to the NFAA Easton Yankton Archery Center, a world-class facility that draws athletes and visitors from across the country and truly around the world. Our historic downtown district, the Mead Museum, youth sporting events, fishing tournaments, concerts, festivals, the list goes on and on. These are all a part of the visitor experience. But those assets, they don't market themselves. Tourism today is highly competitive, and travelers have endless options when deciding where to spend their time and money. Communities across the Midwest are investing heavily in tourism promotion and destination branding because visibility matters. Nationally, 2025 was a more challenging year for tourism and travel. Rising costs, inflation, and economic uncertainty impacted destinations across the country, and what Yankton experienced was not unique to Yankton. But challenging years is not the time to disappear from our market. This is the time to remain strategic, collaborative, and visible. One of the biggest misconceptions about tourism marketing is that if you stop investing for just 1 year, nothing really changes. But in reality, destination marketing works cumulatively. Communities that continue telling their story and remain visible are the communities that stay competitive and recover faster during those softer travel cycles. Research from Love Communications found that our 2025-2026 shoulder season co-op campaign that just ended this spring generated approximately $29 in visitor spending for every dollar invested. This type of return matters, and these partnerships like the co-op campaign were able to stretch local dollars significantly further while keeping Yankton visible in these highly competitive markets. But tourism is more than just visitor spending, it's community momentum. For many, their first impression of Yankton comes from a tournament or a weekend at the lake, maybe a fishing tournament or a downtown concert, Ribfest. Those events turn into repeat travel. Sometimes they turn into a future resident, oftentimes workforce recruitment opportunities, business investments, or maybe even retirement decisions. And perhaps one of the most important things to remember that every single person in this room, heck, every resident of Yankton is playing a role in that visitor experience. A positive interaction, a helpful recommendation, a welcoming environment all matter. Visitors talk and they leave reviews. They share experiences online. And because of Yankton's hospitality, that's why they want to keep coming back. But as a reminder, again, tourism is one of the few industries where non-residents help support our local economy and tax base. I understand that there's been conversations surrounding funding challenges. Jesse gave a presentation on that as well. These are valid concerns, and we recognize the importance of being responsible stewards of public funding. And while tourism trends softened nationally in 2025, our local numbers still remain strong. And maybe bid collections might be slower year over year. They continue to parallel with pre-pandemic benchmarks. But it's also important to recognize that visitor traveling and lodging trends are evolving. One major shift in Yankton alone are seasonal and permanent campgrounds. Since 2021, we have increased by approximately 425 new campsites. Many of these visitors, though, are still contributing significantly to our local economy, shopping, dining, recreation, fuel purchases, and turning into long-term stays, even if those spending patterns look different than our traditional hotel metrics. I also think it's important to understand the structure of our tourism budget and how those dollars are being utilized. If you'd go to the next slide, please. For the 2025-2026 fiscal year, Visit Yankton's operating budget is approximately $260,000. Of that, approximately 89% is funded through the City of Yankton. An additional 2% is simply the pass-through from the bid board that supports tourism grant programming for community event organizers. That leaves about 7% of our total operating budget coming from grants or advertising revenue, sponsorships, and maybe a few donations. In other words, Yankton's investment is not supplementing our tourism operations. It's the foundation to the work that's being done. The funding allows us to market Yankton competitively, support our local events, attractions, leverage state partners, and continue driving outside dollars into our community. Tourism is not an expense line, it's an investment line. It's an investment in local jobs, in local businesses, in tax revenue. It's an investment in long-term growth for Yankton. And I absolutely believe that Yankton is worth investing in. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions, and of course, send this presentation out as well.
Commissioners? Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Brittany, just thank you so much for presenting today, because there's so much that happens for tourism in Yankton that the people in Yankton don't see.
Good.
Because you're targeting, exactly, you're targeting all these outside communities and
Right.
areas that notoriously spend time in Yankton or come to Yankton. And so I think it's really good for all of us to get to see where those dollars are going and what they look like. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Anybody else? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
all your
Mayor.
work. Okay, we'll go ahead and move into our next section, which will be consent items, and it looks like tonight we have no consent items, so we will keep on moving along here to old business. So first item under old business is going to be the second reading and public hearing for temporary street closure in the downtown Meridian District for the Third on Third special event on July 3rd, 2026. Consideration of memorandum number 26-114, recommending that the City Commission conduct the second reading and public hearing of the request to allow the temporary street closure on 3rd Street from Douglas Avenue, a half block east toward Capitol Street for the July 3rd, 2026 special event, Third on Third. Do I have a motion, Commission?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any commission discussion? Seeing no, yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
No discussion per se, but is there a reason why we lost maps in our packets? Usually, like when these requests would come up, we would get a map of the street that would show the exact closure. This one's a pretty short one, so maybe it's easy to picture, but sometimes I'm a little directionally challenged with roads. So I was just wondering if there's a reason we no longer get maps like for this request and the following request, because they usually were
Yep,
included.
good question.
Yeah, we put the link to the location. Don't have the exact perimeter map. We can do that, probably. We have to find a new way of doing that because that would fall into one of those things where scanning it in, we would have to have, with our new web compliance, a description of this is a map that shows this. So we have to find a new way of doing that, but I'm sure our IT folks can help us do that. So if that's an important piece of the packet, we can certainly identify a way to make that happen.
I do think it would be helpful if that is possible, but good question, Commissioner. Yep, thank you. Okay, any other commissioner questions? Okay. Anyone? So right now we have a motion and a second on the floor. If no commission questions, anyone from the public have anything? Okay, seeing no movement, roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, number 2, second reading and public hearing for temporary street closure in the downtown Meridian District for the Rock and Rumble special event on July 25th, 2026. Consideration of memorandum number 26-115, recommending the City Commission conduct the second reading and public hearing of the request to allow the temporary street closure on 3rd Street from Douglas Ave, 1 block east to Capitol Street for the July 25th, 2026 Rock and Rumble special event. Commission, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion?
I have one. Is this area smaller than it's been in previous years, or is it the exact same footprint?
Jeff,
Sorry,
will you come up to
folks,
the-
I was going to say.
come up to the
I
mic,
can't-
please. Yep,
Yeah,
please.
for some reason, when I looked at this, I thought it looked maybe a block less or so than what you've used in the past, but I didn't know.
It's on.
Okay. In the past, we have gone around the corner and the intersection, but the vendors prefer to, food vendors and stuff, we put them around the corner to give some more room to the event, but we're going to do it in the 1 block because we can't go in the intersection anymore, so we're kind of restricted to 1. But we're going to get the same events and everything else going on in there, so.
Perfect, thank you. I thought it seemed just a titch smaller, so I was curious.
Okay, all right, good question, Commissioner. Okay, any other questions, Commission? Okay, seeing no mics come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, item number 3 under old business. We have the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1107, changing the maximum allowable height of structures in the R4 multiple family district, B1 local business district, B3 central business district, and the I1 industrial district. That's consideration of number 26-116, recommending the City Commission adopt ordinance number 1107, changing the maximum allowable height of structures in the R4 multiple family district, B1 local business district, B3 Central Business District, and I1 Industrial District. And before I entertain a motion, would you mind coming up and give us some explanation, Mr. Bies? Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. You may recall you asked the Planning Commission to provide some recommendations for potential zoning height maximum increases. What you have before you is the result of staff taking a look at ordinance maximums in regional and similar sized communities, having conversations with developers and builders about what the trends for the future look like, as well as incorporating feedback from the building official and the fire department staff. We then prepared the recommendation for these increases in the 4 zoning districts you have in the memo, with the accompanying rationale for the heights in each of those districts. At the Planning Commission in May, the Planning Commission in May recommended approval. Happy to answer any specific questions you would have on the recommendation.
I do have one question, Brad. I know the fire department was consulted, but just with the higher heights potentially, firefighting issues, any concerns there?
Not with these recommendations. One of the conversations we'd had earlier were with those communities that had no limitation. There was a concern about from the fire department staff, the potential challenges of no limitations at all. Just wanted to take a step here to what seems practical and reasonable. Obviously, if we were at a point where we grew a number of structures that were multi-story, significantly more than we have today, that would be a growing capacity for the fire department. That would be a need to grow that capacity if we reach that.
Any other questions, Commission? Go ahead, Commissioner.
And Brad, if I'm looking at this right, basically all of them, we just increased another 15 feet. Did I?
I didn't do the math if we did them all the same, but you probably did. So if you did,
I was like, did we just decide 15 feet it sounded like a good round number, or was there any reasoning behind increasing them all exactly the same? Just curious.
That's as you can hear from my confusion, that's purely a coincidence. We looked at each one individually based on the needs of those districts. It apparently just happens 15 was the magic similar number.
Good question.
Well, it makes it easier, I guess. If anybody's familiar with the old, they just add 15.
Yeah, there you go. Commissioner, go ahead.
But the only one that stayed the same was B2, is that correct?
So we didn't change B2. We also didn't change a number of the residential districts that aren't listed on here simply because we match what's standard, and we also just really don't get requests for single-family structures. It's not a common construction type where folks are looking to build multi-story single-family homes.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, any other questions? Okay, thank you. Appreciate your explanation. Okay, so then I will entertain a motion.
Move to adopt ordinance 1107.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, item number 4, second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1108, modifying parking requirements for dwellings designed and operated as rental housing for persons aged 55 years or older. Consideration of memorandum number 26-117, recommending the City Commission adopt ordinance 1108, modifying parking requirements for dwellings designed and operated as rental housing for persons aged 55 years and older. And again, before I entertain this motion as well, Mr. Bies, will you just give us a quick synopsis of this again so the public is aware?
Thank you, Mayor. For the past 2 or 3 years, we've had contact with developers interested in expanding the 55-plus age-restricted housing opportunities in the community. Generally speaking, these come about because of federal programs that subsidize that type of housing. So what we're talking about here is only age-restricted rental properties. So that's why, as you read through it, some of the language feels a little bit tortured. It's because this is very specifically a specific rental housing type, really exclusively supported through federal subsidy. So it was a type of housing that was identified in the housing study, as well as the comp plan discussed this as a housing mix that had grown in a substantial way in a number of years. One of the factors that developers have in trying to design and execute 55-plus age-restricted rentals is we're talking about smaller format dwellings, and we're talking about an age population. We're talking about a tendency that doesn't change. So these are everyone in the unit is age restricted to 55 plus. The reason we're comfortable recommending a reduction in off-street parking, because as you know, I was going to say, as you know, it snows here, but some years it doesn't snow here. But in the years in which it does snow here, off-street parking requirements are important so the public works folks can clear curb to curb. That's one of the primary impetuses for having an off-street parking requirement. When we look at other housing types, you can imagine a family might grow, more folks might move into the apartment. In these situations, we're talking about 1 to 2, generally speaking, 1 to 2 adults living in these units who generally have 1 or 2, not more than generally speaking, 2 cars. So the reason we're comfortable in this situation is they're professionally managed. They include land use restrictions. They're playing by federal and state program rules already. So it feels like a situation where it's reasonable to reduce it in this limited circumstance. Again, in May, the Planning Commission recommended approval, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, Commission? Okay, I will entertain a motion then for this item.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Again, any more commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we have item number 5 under old business is the public hearing for new retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license. This is consideration of memorandum number 26-126, recommending the City Commission approve the application from LLTD1 LLC, Kim Ocampo, doing business as Boss's Pizza and Chicken at 2501 Broadway Ave, Yankton, South Dakota, for the July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027 licensing period. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Move to
Second.
approve.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this item? Seeing no lights come on, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we're into new business. The first item under new business is the Summit Activity Center in Yankton High School rental rates increase for 2028. Consideration of memorandum number 26-118, recommending the City Commission approve resolution number 26-23, the proposed rate structure for 2028, which will become effective on July 1st, 2028. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Commissioner, would you like any explanation on this? Okay. Would you mind giving us some explanation on this? Todd, thank you.
The city school committee that used to meet back in 2014 looked at rental rates and decided that they needed to increase. And then instead of discussing an increase each year, it was decided that they should increase by 3%. And so the other concern was rental groups, that they would know that the rate increases are coming. So that's why we work 2 years out, so documents that we can give to the public when they question about rentals this year, next year, the year after. We have documents we can give them that show them what the rates are going to be, so there's no surprises. Not only are the rates increased for rental, but there are also, with the city school agreement, the school district handles the custodial for public rentals. When you're thinking about the gym, theater, any of those type of facilities down on the school end. So those custodial rates are also increased. And then through the years, it was decided that the school has the custodians, but they should get time off for holidays. And so then it has kind of morphed into there are non-rental dates that are on holidays or corresponding weekend dates that go with them if it should happen to be on a Monday or think of Thanksgiving on a Thursday, and then that whole weekend becomes a holiday weekend. So some of those things have changed through the years, but that's kind of where we are today is the rental rates, custodial rates, and then looking at dates when the facilities would not be available each year.
So the question I have, Todd, this is just for group events, group rentals and so forth. This isn't the individual member coming to the Summit Activity Center, and we're not talking about an increase there. Is that correct?
If you look down at the bottom of the attachment, we do also increase meeting room hourly rates and court costs to rent one court in the auxiliary gym. And then this would also carry over, not that it's in this document, but we would charge the same rates for renting a court at City Hall Gymnasium. So yes, we do wrap in other rental rates in there, which the school wouldn't be involved in setting up, doing the paperwork, or collecting fees for the meeting rooms in the Summit Activity Center or the auxiliary court rentals if it's a basketball team, indoor soccer team, volleyball team, something of that nature.
Okay, any other questions for Todd? Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. If there's no other commission discussion, I'll ask for anyone from the public. See no movement, roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 2, support for inclusion of 911 dispatchers in Class B of the South Dakota Retirement System. This is consideration of memorandum number 26-127 regarding support for the inclusion of 911 dispatchers in Class B of South Dakota Retirement System. And before I entertain a motion, we have someone here to speak on behalf of that, if I'm correct? Yep, come on up, please.
My name is Jennifer Paulsma, and I've been working in emergency communications since 2009 for the city of Yankton. Tonight, we're asking for your support, including 911 dispatchers in Class B retirement within the South Dakota Retirement System. The memorandum before you outlines the facts and the criteria in detail, but I would like to take a few moments to speak from experience. When most people think of dispatchers, they think of someone answering a phone or speaking on the radio. What they often do not see is that the dispatchers are actually the first responders. We hear or see people on what may be the worst day of their lives. We hear panic, grief, fear, anger, confusion, and heartbreak. We're expected to absorb all of this while remaining calm and clear, but most certainly we must definitely be ready for the next call. There are days when we help a parent perform CPR on a child, or a child perform CPR on a parent. There's days where we listen to someone take their last breath or even take their own life. Days where we coordinate emergencies involving serious injuries, violence, suicides, or people experiencing profound crisis. When the call ends, another line rings, another radio transmits, and another emergency begins. We do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every holiday, every overnight shift, during our children's sporting events and band concerts, during every snowstorm, and so on. The memorandum does mention a statistic that kind of stood out to me. At one South Dakota 911 center, only 5 of 320 employees made it to retirement under Class A. That's approximately 1.5%. Yankton specifically finally had their first in 2022, and we're going to have our second in 2026. But statistics alone do not tell the entire story. But I do think that they force us to ask an important question, which is why. The reality is that the effects of this profession are cumulative. The long demanding shifts, disrupted sleep schedules, chronic stress, missing time with family, and exposure to trauma affect us physically and mentally over time. I do want to acknowledge something important, though. The City of Yankton dispatchers are incredibly fortunate to receive tremendous support from both our community and our fellow first responders. We have worked hard to build systems that recognize the importance of mental and physical well-being. We utilize resources such as critical and stress management teams, peer support, and even smaller wellness initiatives within dispatch, like encouraging movement and physical health through tools such as a treadmill at our center. Those resources matter, and they do make a difference. They help us process difficult experiences, support one another, and create a healthier workplaces. But they do not eliminate the realities of the profession. They help us carry the weight, but they do not remove the weight. I love this profession. One of my favorite things about being a dispatcher is bringing order to chaos and helping provide safety to both the public and responders. I believe most dispatchers would tell you they genuinely love what they do. But loving a profession and recognizing its demands must exist together. Tonight, I'm asking for recognition that emergency communications is a public safety profession with unique demands and long-term impacts. Dispatchers meet the criteria outlined for Class B retirement, and I respectfully ask for your support. So I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Roger, you have something you want to say too?
I was just going to say that I really hope and appreciate what the city does for us in our dispatch center. It goes a long way.
Well, I would have to say thank you for what you do for us. Having been a firefighter for 24 years now and just knowing being a fellow brother, sister, first responder, I do understand that you are the very first link in that chain of survival, as they call it, and you do speak with people on their absolute worst days of their lives, sometimes their last day here on this earth. I do knowing, doing my own research, I know that you dispatchers have some of the highest rates of mental stress because you're answering this phone call in your mind's eye. You're not there on scene actually dealing with it. You're imagining what is happening in your head, and that's a very difficult thing to do. And while you're doing all that, you're still keeping everybody organized and getting resources where they need to go. And so I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate you and all of you, what you all do for our community. I think it is imperative as a city that we provide services, safety for our citizens. That should be at the very apex of what we do in that pyramid of services, is that making sure when one of our citizens calls 911 or a visitor calls 911 that trained, qualified, caring people show up, but also that people like you answer the phone to get us there. So I really appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner.
I was reading this, preparing for tonight. So just, I guess, a clarification to make sure I understand this and the public understands this. I, by 100%, agree this needs to happen. As Mayor Villanueva said, I have a firefighter husband, so I know that you all keep him safe in the direction that you give them, and I've had to call 911 before, so appreciate all that you do. So I wholeheartedly support this. My question comes more from, didn't this come before the commission before? So there's some history here, because I want the public to know that this has been brought to us before, because if you read the packet, the letter goes to the South Dakota Retirement System to then have it brought for approval in front of the legislature. So good, I'm getting nods, so I remembered that correctly, that this has come before the commission before. What has been the hesitation? Because to me, this is a no-brainer. What happened? Can anybody give me the history of what happened the last time this was brought up? I'm just more curious than anything happened.
Amy?
Yeah, I may need a little bit of help with the history, but I believe that I was on the municipal league at the board. I believe that on the municipal league board at the time, I believe that the Public Safety Committee on the municipal league, encouraged by the PSAPs, by the dispatch centers, supported by the dispatchers, and supported by the County Association of Counties, put forth a bill in the legislature to have them change in the retirement system. And I believe it made it out of committee and failed on the floor. Is that correct, Jen?
And I believe that the recommendation was to get the approval through the South Dakota
Through the retirement system first.
Yep, so that's now this second go around here,
Taking
that's what
another
they're
run
doing,
at
is
it.
they're coming first to our, our commissions, going to the South Dakota retirement system for approval there, and then it'll go to the state legislature. And that's,
So I'm not sure if the league is going to run the bill again or how that's going to work, but I'm certain it would be supported if that's what's going to come forward.
Yeah, and again, yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Well, I wish you well. It certainly is something that should be done. I had an unsuccessful effort a few years back, maybe 5-10 years back, trying to get HSC direct staff eligible for Class B. I think they are also in a very stressful environment. It wasn't successful, so it's not easy to do, but I hope you keep trying.
thank you, appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, again, just to clarify, what we are voting on tonight is that this is just going to be in support of, and then I'll be signing a letter of support then that'll go on for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So with all that being said, do I have a motion?
I move to support inclusion of the 911 dispatchers in Class B of the South Dakota retirement system.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Again, any more commission discussion? Okay, seeing none. Anyone from the public? Seeing none, movement, roll call.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we have number 3, bid acceptance for alley reconstruction. Consideration of memorandum number 26-120. Recommend the City Commission accept the Slowey Construction, Inc. bid of $445,188.15 for the reconstruction project for the alley between Green Street and Locust Street from Riverside Drive to 4th Street. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Commission, would you like any description or discussion on this?
I noticed, as is in the packet, that this came in a little bit over engineering specs, but we mention it every time it is lower. This, I think, would be a time to mention it while it's higher and an explanation, please.
Is your mic on?
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Adam and Brad do the design, manage the project. On the wastewater side, that's where we probably saw the biggest overage based off the estimate. And it did come in right on what we had budgeted, the 200,000. Again, this is, in the past, we've done a lot of water main replacement. We're just starting to do sewer main replacement, so this is our first one kind of doing that estimate. It's a tough project when you get into a narrow alley. They're going to probably have to dig, haul the dirt away, bring it back in because there's nowhere to pile the dirt off to the side. So some of those costs came in higher than what we kind of expected. But I do think the price is on. We had 3 bids, so this was the lowest of the 3. They were all, or 2 of them were really close. One was quite a bit higher. So I don't think the price is going to come down if we wait a year. It's just what the cost is. It's approximately 400 feet of sewer. So it's clay tile. We did an assessment of the tile. We did go in with our camera, video it, do assessment. It's got a large belly in the pipe, so we can't look at alternative methods of lining it. So it does have to be open cut and replaced.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? See no mics come on. Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Excuse me. Next, Chain Gurney Municipal Airport T-Hangar Lease Agreement. Consideration of memorandum number 26-121. Recommend the City Commission approve the lease agreement of unit number 3 of the city-owned T-Hangars at Chain Gurney Municipal Airport to Mr. Michael Christ. This is a 12-month lease, January 1st of 2026 to December 31st of 2026, and will be renewed annually. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commission discussion?
Mr. Mayor, you mentioned January 1st through end of the year. In our notes here, it says May 1st.
That's a good catch. I see Adam moving to the mic. Thank you.
That is a good catch. So the T-Hangar leases at the airport are annual leases, and that's why it's stated January 1st through December 31st. This particular lease will actually be effective May 1st to December 31st with a prorated lease rate, and then it'll continue on in the annual lease in the future years.
So being that there's proration, excuse me, technically then it is correct. Since we're prorating, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, good catch, Commissioner. Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone from the public? Okay, seeing no movement, roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, item number 5, special on-sale liquor license. Consideration of memorandum number 26-122, recommending the City Commission approve the application from Rock and Rumble, Inc., doing business as Third on Third, 113 East 3rd Street, Yankton, South Dakota, for a special on-sale liquor license for one day, July 3rd, 2026, for the annual Third on Third event to be held on East 3rd Street from Douglas Ave to Capitol Street. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics, come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, item number 6, special on-sale liquor license. This is consideration of memorandum number 26-123, recommending the City Commission approve the application from Rock and Rumble, Inc., doing business as Rock and Rumble, 113 East 3rd Street, Yankton, South Dakota, for a special on-sale liquor license for one day, July 25th, 2026, for the annual Rock and Rumble event to be held at East 3rd Street from Douglas Ave to Capitol Street. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics, come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, item number 7, a transient merchant license. This is consideration of memorandum number 26-124, recommending the City Commission approve the application for a transient merchant license received from Rock and Rumble, Inc., doing business as Rock and Rumble for one day, July 25th, 2026, for an event to take place at 113 East 3rd Street. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics, come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 8, transient merchant license, consideration of memorandum number 26-125, recommending the City Commission approve the application for a transient merchant license received from Flussworks LLC, doing business as Old Mill Event Center from August 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2026, for an event to take place at 104 and 106 Capitol Street. Commission, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this?
Can you tell us what's going on for 30 days at this place?
Good question, Commissioner. Who can give us an update on
I
that?
can answer that.
Thank you, Lisa.
Fellow commissioners, Mayor Villanueva. The application filled out was primarily for the Riverboat Days timeline. The person who applied, however, we don't have anything less than a month worth of licensing period, so he applied for the entire month. He did apply for a blanket license similar to other special events found throughout the city.
Thank you.
Okay, good question. Okay, any other questions? Okay, anyone from the public? Roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. And the last item, number 9, the Federal Emergency Management FEMA Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant Application, BRIC. Consideration of memorandum number 26-119 and resolution number 26-24, recommending the City Commission authorize the submittal of the BRIC grant application and appoint the city manager as the authorized agent to sign all documents. And before I accept a motion on there or take a motion on this, could we get a little bit of explanation, please?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Before you is a request to apply for that Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant, which I'm pleased they shortened to BRIC because saying that every time is a real pain. We most recently applied for this type of funding in 2020 and were approved. Periodically over the past, the name of the grant program has changed a few times, but over the course of the last several decades, we've applied a number of times to acquire properties, residential properties along Martin Creek that have experienced or are at risk of experiencing flood damage. One of the reasons to do this acquisition and demo is to recognize that those housing stocks are unlikely to receive substantial investments in the future. By removing them, we sort of have the benefit of ameliorating that risk for the future, as well as giving folks an opportunity to exit those properties without them potentially becoming blight. I'm not suggesting that these properties are blight, but that's the trajectory as folks start to look at alternatives to reconstruction and the requirements that exist in floodplain. As you probably know, we keep a list and a map of those properties we think would be advantageous along the Martin Creek corridor. Given the time frame of this project, which was relatively condensed, we looked at 3 different properties. 2 of them opted to continue along the path if this application is approved. To be fair, though, it's a willing buyer, willing seller situation, so at any point up to the transfer of the property, the owners can opt out. So what they've agreed to at this point is if you folks are okay with it, we'll apply. If we receive the grant funding, we go to the next steps. There's an estimated budget in there that's based on an appraisal of the property. We're finalizing the budget, but the amount of city match is 15%, which would be covered in this and the following year's Martin Creek budget. One of the advantages of this program is it's a 75% FEMA federal, 10% state, 15% city match, a real advantageous to us situation to be in. Again, application is no guarantee of funding. It's not all or nothing. They might choose to approve both of the projects, one of the projects, or none of the projects. Happy to answer any questions.
Brad, I have a question for you. Given the uncertainty with what's going to happen with FEMA, have you heard any, I mean, will this type of a grant be available in the future? Or are we still waiting in lingo to find out if FEMA is going to survive or not?
Well, golly, if I knew the answer to that, I'd be on a prediction market making money.
I thought maybe
So
you
the
handle more of this at the city than we do at the county, so you probably have more contact with them.
For right now, the indications we have heard from SDOEM, because the grants are managed at the state level by the Office of Emergency Management, their indications are that this round of funding, I mean, obviously this round of funding exists. There's another round of funding coming up that we wouldn't be eligible for, and they are indicating, or they're receiving indications that there may be some more future funding. We'll see. One of the reasons that we decided to move on this, despite the short time window, is we've spent a number of years with no opportunities for grant funding. It made sense. It seemed to make sense to staff to apply at a time when funding was available, simply because we don't know a year from now. We used to be able to imagine every 6 months or so there would be a round of funding. I should say these funds are contingent upon presidential disaster declaration. So these funds come out of and are based on a percentage of previous presidential disaster declarations. So there's no guarantee over the long run of funding, but despite presidential declarations in the past, FEMA has not issued these funding opportunities for the last couple of years.
Okay. Any other commission questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion, commission? Seeing the mics come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosher.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is future business. This is a time for any commissioners that would like to address the commission regarding matters not on the agenda to bring this up now, and it could be added to future agendas. Commission, do you have anything you want to add under future business? Okay. Seeing no mics come on, we'll move right into our next. We're going to adjourn into executive session and discuss contractual litigation and personal matters under SDCL 125-2. Do I have a motion to do that, Commission?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn into executive session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, we're going to adjourn into executive session.